Hello, Facebook and YouTube world. Getting ready to do a live Enlightened Conversations. Awesome guest today. Share this to a page. Post. Share it to a group. I always do this every time. I time my shower way too close to the actual time of the recording.
You gotta let it flow, though, you know?
I do it every time, and regardless of how many times I'm like, oh crap, we hurry up and get out.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And I'm even going to let the Instagram people see us. I've been pointing my phone at the screen.
Okay.
Don't want to leave them out. Otherwise, people have to catch it like on iTunes in a couple of weeks. So I try to give people a chance to hear it live if they're online.
Perfect.
On Instagram, you are at, is it just July Dreaming or is it different?
It's at I Am July Dreaming.
Okay, got it. July. R&B singer July. Awesome. All right, we're ready. Cool. All right, recording here. All right, let's do it. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Enlightened Conversations. Really excited for today and have an awesome guest with us who is in Ohio right now. And we have R&B singer July Dreaming, who I met through another podcast guest and now a friend, Diesel Dunlow. And just excited to vibe with her. Discovered her Instagram page and just a beautiful voice and, beautiful passion for what she's doing and, uplifting people with the gift that she's been given, and I'm excited to flow with her today and vibe with you guys out there. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to July. And July, if you could share with the audience so they're more familiar with you, who you are, what you do, why you do it, all these good things.
Okay, yeah. So my name is July Dreaming. I'm an R&B singer from Ohio, as Noel said. Basically I just make wonderful R&B music for all the R&B lovers, because this is my first passion. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and I write all my own songs, and I just let it flow. Whatever I'm feeling, I try to incorporate that and just make good music that people love to hear. So, like when they're taking their showers, they can vibe to my music.
I'm gonna get a playlist of you soon. After this conversation, I am. Because I always listen to music in the shower, always. So. I love what you just described, because I'm always happy for any human being that is doing things on a daily basis that is, a part of their passion, that they're passionate about. And you describing, singing as something that, I assume that since you were a little kid, you've enjoyed doing and being able to evolve and, write your own songs and just share what comes out. I think it's awesome. And it's probably really fun for you to just see how it's all evolving from the time where you were, a little kid and until now. Explain the journey. Did you always know that? When did it turn into? When did it go from, it's just something I just enjoy doing to something that I want to do, as a career? And like, when did all that start to shift, or was that right away as well?
No, I did it, of course, as a kid. When you're growing up, you're just doing things for fun. You find out you can do something, and it just becomes a hobby to you. As I got older, I went to college and studied social studies and sociology, human services, and then I went out into the corporate world. And then I was like thinking, this doesn't feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I didn't feel like this is what was going to make me happy for the rest of my life. So then that's when I decided, like, it's time to really get on this grind and start doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is singing and writing songs.
I can totally relate to that. I think a lot of us have probably had a phase, or maybe you're in a phase right now where we were doing something with our time that we're like, there's no way I would be doing this if I had if I had the time and the money coming in. Like, I would not be doing this, and that was a challenging time for me when I experienced that. But at the same time, it was a blessing because it made me start thinking about what is it that I would like to do with my time, and then for me, it was just like, I want to be free. I want to be able to enjoy life and to help people and to just have fun here on this planet. And so it's awesome when clear my throat. Edit that part out. You live people. It's like, I have to clear my throat. It's awesome when any of us can make the decision that, you know what, I feel like I'm here to do something with my life, and I'm passionate about it, and then just being able to start flowing in that direction. And what I've noticed in life, I'm sure you probably noticed this too, is so much of the journey is unpredictable. Like, we don't know exactly how it's going to happen, or who we're going to meet, or what songs are going to flow out of you. Like, you'll be, and it just all of a sudden you could have something flow out of you tonight that is like their biggest song to date. It just, you don't never know.
And that's how it happens too. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to stop you right there and let you know that that's how it happens with me. Like, I will be laying in bed at night and the words will just come to me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, should I just get out of bed right now and record this song? So what you're saying is absolutely true.
I love it. No, I've noticed that for years. Just in when we're open to having just synchronicities, good ideas, come into our mind, or meeting cool people. When we're just open to the adventure of life, like, it will happen in times where most of the time we're not expecting it. And if we're open to it, we'll be ready for it, and we'll whether we need to write something down or go record a song or whatever it is. I had this happen for me maybe 5 nights ago, where in the middle of the night I had some numbers that popped into my head that were basically in support of my vision and what I'm creating right now. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is an even easier way for me to explain to people what I'm doing. And so I had to get up, write that down, and I was up from that point for the rest of the day. So yeah, so no, I love that part of life, and always encourage people to don't try to figure out all the details, because if we think about anything that has happened in our lives that we really enjoy, that has been like a significant life moment, whether it be in relationships or career or whatever, we couldn't predict all the things that were going to happen leading up to that experience. Like, so many unknowns happen along the way. You know what I mean? Absolutely, absolutely. So right now, here we are, interesting time, and I think this is probably, in my opinion, I think this is one of the best times to be an artist, having social media and being able to, access the whole planet on the internet. For you right now, what are you most excited about as far as how things are for you right now and going forward, and what are you focused on currently?
Right now, the best thing about this, even though it's a horrible time, in its own self, the best thing about it is just that people have time to sit down and connect, like you and I are doing right now. So many people, you're busy every day. You're constantly busy doing something. And I think I hear a lot of people saying that right now. Everybody can just sit down, take a breather, and just connect with people for
Can you hear me, July? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? You are frozen. All right, you guys stay tuned 1 second. I'm going to get July back on here. She is frozen. Uno momento. All right, uno momento. We'll get July back on here. Technology. She is in Ohio. Fun talking to her. Hello out there. Happy Saturday. Talk to you guys. Can't see you guys' replies on right this second, but going to be going live here, going on a nature walk in Miami soon. Got some rain the last few days, so going to head outside, show you guys some scenery, go on a little walk, go on a run. Maybe manifest some abundance with you guys. I've been talking a lot about that lately. Anybody that has not connected with me and talked about what I was just talking about with July, what I've been finding so much is I love asking people, and we've all been here. Maybe some of you guys are still here now. Probably a lot of you guys are here now. But how many of us are spending time doing anything with our life, whether it be minutes, hours, days, a lot of times, 5 out of the 7 days for a lot of people, but spending time doing anything that we would not do if we had the time and the money coming in, if we had the abundance, which, here we go. July's back.
I'm back.
I knew you'd be back. Give me a second to run my mouth to the audience a little bit.
I don't know what just happened. My phone just was like, emergency, your phone needs to cool down. I've never had that happen before.
Can't be that warm in Ohio right now.
It's so temperamental up here. Who knows? Maybe it's you brought the Miami heat to us.
It is always warm here. I purposely picked the warmest climate in the United States to live in. So, yes, this is.
Anyways, we shall flow on because I'm back, so we're all good now.
Yeah, no worries. This is why they make edit buttons on here, which the live people get to see things that they normally wouldn't see. So it's perfect. So you were sharing what as far as this being a challenging time, but at the same time the things that you're focused on and excited about it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I was just saying that a lot of people right now get a chance to just sit down and talk to people that you normally wouldn't get to connect. That's a good thing, especially as an independent artist. You know, even with like major artists that are already established and out there with deals, they're more open right now to connect with independent artists and try to give them a platform to, to use so that they can get their music out there as well. And for me, myself, I've been coming out with singles that I've been writing on my own. But I am due to actually go and finish up my EP in Michigan. So that's my next step. And once coronavirus is cleared up and I can go, then we're going to zoom out and get this completed.
I love it. Do you find yourself in your songs, the things that when you just find yourself in the zone and flowing out, like and writing, what's kind of like the things that you notice yourself talking about a lot in your music? Is there there's something that flows out of you, a lot, whether it be a love vibe or a party vibe or what do you find flowing out of yourself with your music? For those of us that are out here that we haven't gotten to hear a lot of your stuff just yet.
Yeah, and I'm a fairly new artist when it comes to, putting stuff out on the platforms. Of course, I have all my music on all the streaming platforms now, iTunes, Spotify, everything under July Dreaming. But mostly what I've been writing about the past year, I would say, is like the love song, the intimacy songs. When I hear a beat, I just get a vibe, I just found a foundation from that beat that I hear. And that's what I've been getting. I'm getting a lot of love and intimacy type of vibrations. So that's what I've been writing about. So we'll see what happens in the future. But I think that people really vibe with that. They like that because it's missing right now.
Absolutely. I've always connected most with. So I've always said when it comes to R&B,
Yeah.
I've always connected most with I mean, especially like the guy singers, the ones that are you could tell they are most passionate about the actual like sex and love, like the so even though he's gone through some trials and tribulations for sure, like I'm in 2000 I was 18 when the chocolate when 12 play came out, 12 play 2 came out and all these things, and that was like you couldn't tell me there was a better album on the planet at that time than like the remix and all these things. So our Ignition remix and all this stuff, and then of course all the stuff that's been going on. I'm not here to judge any human, but I've always like I want to ask that question. Like I was working out at the gym with here in Miami. I don't know why his name is escaping me right now. I can't think of it. It's you notice I'm not a huge there's artists that talk about, and I'm gonna listen to your music. And what I've noticed is artists that talk about love and intimacy because it's a topic that would just be good to talk about. And there's others that I could tell with you that that's just coming from their soul, where it's like authentic and I can hear the difference right away. And I've always been drawn to those that are like you can tell that they really, they're passionate about that. Like right now, like for me, I feel like the Dream is really passionate about what he sings about. Like that connects with me. Trey Songz a lot of times is really passionate. I think there's a huge window for women because there's no ladies that are popping into my mind right now that are like really passionate about what they're singing about in that area of like intimacy and like nobody's popping in my mind right now. I know there are, but so yeah. You feel me on that when it comes to like authenticity?
Like you said, there's not a lot of people that are passionate about it anymore. That's the problem. And it's funny that you mentioned the Dream because he's like a major influence of mine. Like he's one of my favorite artists. The Dream, Eric Bellinger, Tiana Taylor, of course, Lauryn Hill. Mm-hmm. She was like the epitome of R&B and hip hop. So these are people that I grew up listening to, and I was heavily influenced by them, and still am to this day. The Dream and Eric Bellinger, definitely for sure. I can listen to their music all day long, and just get a vibe off of that. And then the next day I'm influenced to write my own work. So definitely, and it's definitely has to come from passion because, like you said, people can tell if you're faking it or not. And everything that I do, I'm very passionate about it. I'm genuine about it, and it's going to come through in my songs.
I love it. I'm happy the name that I was reaching for didn't come up because I don't want to call anybody out on this podcast because he's a popular singer, and I just couldn't think of his name, but I was going to call him out as someone that I haven't connected with because it just sounds to me like they're just singing about topics but not really authentically connected to it. But he told me at the gym, he was like, that's not really my vibe. I'm more of like a, party song guy. Because I asked him like what songs on his album, like if I wanted to put, I have in my opinion the best playlist on the planet when it comes to like if you're having an intimate night with a partner, like I haven't met anyone that has a better playlist on Spotify than I have. Like, cause I purposely reached out for all these songs that like every artist that I mentioned, like heavy doses on here plus anything else that's out there. And so, yeah, no, I'm excited for anybody out there that just connects with what's genuine for them and lets it flow out. Because that's gonna be, we can all feel that. It's all a vibe. It's all a frequency. I love it. Yeah.
So check out your playlist now, and hopefully in the future you'll want to add July to that playlist because I love it.
Well, I'm gonna check your music out, and I haven't listened to enough. It hasn't popped up for whatever reason. Eric Bellinger, like you brought his name into my attention just now, so I'm gonna go listen to it, some stuff over there too, because I'm always open for that. The first concert I ever went to in my life that I never had any money to go to any concert, and I was like 17, and I went to a 112 concert with a girl that I had the biggest like crush on, and that was a good place to go on a date. I don't know how I scrummaged up the money for that, but yeah, that did it. You remember 112? So you're younger than me, so that was like you were super young.
But this is everybody that you're saying is nothing that's new to me because these are still the people part of my past that are installed in me. And now, that's what's coming out through me. Like, people are like, I can't quite get where you're coming from, because you got like that old school vibe mixed with the new school. But, all these names that you're mentioning, 112 and R. Kelly, of course, people go through things, but still his music is a part of our history. So all of these people that you're mentioning are still a part of this history and what we're trying to do now with R&B.
I'm gonna give you a compliment right now, because what about that era that you're, thank goodness that people are like saying, wow, I feel a mix of this. Like in the 90s, early 2000s, like we didn't have all the technology that people have right now to where they can adjust their voice and do all. We didn't have any of that stuff. Like it was like, if you could sing, you could sing. And what I hear in your voice, I mean, you actually can sing. Like you have a beautiful voice. On the story right now on my Instagram, if you guys are connected with me on Instagram, I have just was promoting this conversation, and the song that you were singing on that, I'm like, your voice is awesome. I mean, you can't fake that. I mean, you can, these days you can almost do some stuff, like especially guys, they'll do like auto tune and stuff, and you can kind of fake a little bit. But you can always hear the people that genuinely have the gift. So
yeah, yes, you're talking about the auto tune.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have that in the artists didn't have access to that in the 90s, and I mean, you could either sing or you couldn't. So
I had to get with you too, because like you said, growing up, it was just natural, and I'm glad that I was still able to kind of be in that era too, to where you had to have that natural talent, to where now it's like whoever's going to have the most fans on Instagram, that's who we're just going to blow them up. But back in the day, like, you had to have that talent and build your fan base off of that. So,
have you got on TikTok yet? Are you on there?
I'm on TikTok.
Smart.
I'm on every social media platform. I'm on TikTok, July Dreaming, because I'm a little bit silly too.
It's so smart that if I'm an artist, if you're artists out there, that's definitely the move. I mean, because I've just seen people. You're connecting with your fan base now and of the future, because it's a younger demographic, but it's people are getting older and older on TikTok because everybody is starting to be on it. So that's just a really good move for you. I'm happy that you're taking advantage of that. What's your vision for where you want all this to go? Like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see happen in your life? Where's this going? Paint the picture for me.
I just have to step back a lot of times and just you're always thinking about what you want your vision to be and what you're going to be doing in the next 5 years. And for me, I feel like, I'm happy with what I'm doing right now, which is perfect. Like, the goals that I've accomplished, I did my first video. I've had, I don't know how many songs I have now, maybe like 7 songs out on streaming platforms. I did all this on my own. And, I'm extremely happy with where I'm at. In the future, I definitely want to grow bigger so I can be able to provide a platform for the people that are coming up under me. Also, my peers, if I can get to a level where I can help out somebody, that's what my vision is. Just to be able to help people. Because that's what we're in it for. Because we're not here alone. So that's my vision. Just to be able to help somebody make it to a bigger level and keep doing what I'm doing. I'm happy.
I love it. That's such a good answer. This is gonna help somebody out there, July. I'm gonna highlight what you guys just heard and felt from July, because this is so important for all of us on the planet. If we have anything that is like really exciting that we're involved in, that we want to see manifest like in this lifetime, if we can be happy where we are right now, just knowing that I've had all this life experience, lessons that I've learned, things that I now know I'm really excited about, things that I know I'm not that excited about. And I'm on this journey, called life. And I don't know how it's all going to happen or when or where or who's going to be involved or any of these details that if we try to figure out all these too soon, it typically will make us anxious. But if we can truly, we have the cliche, enjoy the journey and the joys in the journey, and how many people actually allow themselves to enjoy it, though, because they're so focused on the goal or the result that they want to have that it's like I'll be happy when, which I was one of the best in the world at the I'll be happy when I was in my early 20s, because I thought I was going to be a pro athlete, July, and when that didn't happen, I was looking for something else to where it's like, okay, I'll be happy when I could be, a successful movie star, or I moved to LA just because I was looking for the success that I didn't accomplish in sports. I was like, I'm gonna do it in entertainment, but I wasn't passionate. So what I'm really highlighting for everybody out there, and just a reminder for all of us, is whatever we're doing right now, whatever journey we're on, whatever we're excited about that we want to see in our lives, like those that can truly enjoy right now, the moment that we're in, because that's all that's promised to any of us and all that we can control. And, enjoy the adventure of it, where it's like, again, July could create tonight, it could pop in her mind, or any day, the song that is not only very fun and passionate for her to flow out and for her to create, but that, spreads around the planet, that also allows her to help the people that she wants to help, and all the things that she just described. Like, the adventure of life is so much fun, and those that, manifest a lot, and the things that they want to manifest while they're here, are the ones that can enjoy all the moments, and just, allow the mysteries and the synchronicities to unfold. So I love that you answered that way, because it's pretty much a done deal once we do that, because you're happy now, you'll be happy tomorrow, you're going to be happy along the whole journey. You're going to accomplish lots of things. You're going to be able to help the people, because this is just the journey, this is the path that you're on. So I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, like you say, like just living in the moment, and like what we've learned so far just from 2020 alone, nobody's promised tomorrow. So that's why, now when I do come up with something, I'm like, oh, this sounds good. Like, I love it. I can listen to this. That's why I hurry up and get it out there to the world, because you're not promised tomorrow. And like you said, just living that moment, being happy, and spreading that happiness is the most important thing to me.
I love it. What you just said right there, I've been living my life that way for the last maybe three plus years, where it's like, if today was my last, which, we all watching this podcast, we'll all live until 150, 200 years old, I'm sure, all of us. But in the case we don't, there were things inside of me that I hadn't shared yet, that have benefited me, and that I was passionate about, that I knew would help other people, that if that day were my last, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it would have left inside of me. It wouldn't have helped anyone, because I would have been gone. So I've lived my life the last 3-4 years, just like you just said. When there's something that just needs to come out, it's out. And the internet is like, it's going to be living, as long as, probably outlive all of us. The internet is going to be here for a while. So that gives a lot of peace if there's things inside of you right now, anybody out there listening, even if it's just you typing out a little post, a blog post, and just putting it somewhere so somebody can find, or writing out a letter, that somebody can find, or whatever it is, just get it out of you. Like, whatever it is that you want to share that you feel will be impactful, it'll give you so much peace, if it's in a journal or if it's on a video or whatever it is. So I truly can relate with what you're sharing, because that is just fun to do. And then once that's out of you, then you have space for more stuff to come in, and then you can flow that out of you as well. So it's a constant.
Yes, and I even came up with this acronym for DREAM. Like, to me, DREAM means like you have a daily responsibility to empower and make moves. So that's what I try to incorporate in my daily life now, because of course my name is July Dreaming, and I've always had very detailed dreams. A lot of them have even came true. So that's where my name comes from. And just to be able to empower somebody and make moves every day, it could just be the smallest thing. But just because you're doing that, that's become a habit in my life now, what I want to do with my career and keep going on. That's
a great acronym. Share that as much as you were inspired to. That'll always be inspirational to someone. I just gave some advice to a friend last night, because they have see, I'm gonna mess it up if I try to. I won't be. This is why I said for her to do this. Why I gave her this advice, because she has a boutique called AVA, and it's an acronym, and it's the 3 words are super powerful. But I can't. They're not on the tip of my tongue yet. So like I encouraged her, because I saw her on a story. I said, every time you say Ava, like give those 3 words, because what that's gonna do is those are inspiring words, and that will uplift my frequency. And if you want someone to buy something for you or listen to something, if you raise our frequency, we're going to be more likely to perform, that action as far as buying, if it's resonant with us and all those things. So I wanted to be able to just say it right now, but I can't think of the 3 words yet. But with your dream, that'd be awesome for you to, whenever you're inspired to, just be able to tell people that. I think that'll uplift people every time that you share it, for sure. I like that.
Yes.
So the only thing else that I would want to ask, and this is the fun part about doing conversations like these, because the next time that we talk, whenever it is, life evolves, and things are always evolving, and we'll have new awarenesses and new things that we're doing. And like I mentioned, and we all know the internet's going to be here for a while, so someone could listen to this interview 40 years from now, and you've done all this cool stuff and helping a ton of people. But I'm just always curious, anything that you would want to share with the audience that anytime they hear this, whether it's live or 40 years from now, it could be any subject, but anything that you feel would make a difference on their lives that you become aware of, or anything that you want to share that you feel like that'll make a positive impact.
Yes, absolutely. The biggest thing for me, and what I really have had to learn, a lot of people struggle with, is not giving up. You can't give up. You can't give up. You got to keep pressing forward. There's going to be so many people that are negative minded, because a lot of people are not like us, where we have that open mind and we just flow and let it go. But you have to just be able to block that out and keep it moving. And that's my thing. I just want people to know that you don't have to give up. You might want to change some things and think about things in a different way, but just don't give up.
Such a great reminder. Okay, so I'm gonna share something now with the audience, July, that is so valuable. Once I became aware of this, as this will give you the fuel out there. If you're thinking about giving up, this may give you the fuel to keep going. And just know this, for all of us, whenever we have, because everything that we see that's physically manifested, this computer, the chair that I'm sitting in, the car that, wherever July is right now, everything that she sees around her, like all this stuff, at one point, none of them existed on the planet. Like there was none. And it took the first person to have a vision and say, you know what, I'm tired of standing up or sitting on the ground, or only being able to sit on that big rock that's over there. Like, I want to be able to sit over here with my family in something to where, and I can't bring that rock over here, so we got to create something. And so they went on the journey of creating, something to sit in. We call them chairs now. And everybody around them in the tribe was probably like, that's stupid. Why are you wasting your time on that? Like, we're all sitting here on the ground. Just sit on the ground. And he's like, nah, I see it. Like, I have the vision for it. And they put attention and energy, and probably wanted to give up many times. Probably the first few tries, like they were falling down on the ground, and people were laughing at them, and they said, no, I see the vision. And for any of us, anything that we want to see physically manifested, because the same process occurred for every human being that's ever stepped on this earth that wanted to bring something into creation, a song that right now doesn't exist, anything that you're doing out there right now, all it takes is for us to put our attention on it, and our focus, and wherever we put our attention is where we put our energy. And just the laws of physics, if you put energy on anything long enough, you're going to start to see physical manifestation. You rub sticks long enough and cause friction, and cause friction, and cause friction. You see a spark, and now all of a sudden you see a flame, and now you're seeing things, manifesting, a physical manifestation of a fire. So for everybody out there, you can trust that as long as you don't, give up on the dream, you don't give up on the vision, and you just keep putting attention and energy, and again, not needing to know all the how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, because when we start trying to figure all that out, then we start doubting ourselves, and then we start listening to other people. My best advice is don't take advice from other people, because they don't have the vision. They're not going to physically manifest what you are, because you're the one that has the vision. You're the one putting the attention and energy. They have their own vision. They have their things that they're wanting to, and hopefully they're putting their attention and energy on that. So if we can leave the opinions of others, where they are, and just continue to go on our journey, all of us can manifest anything that we want to be or to do or to have. And it's just universal truth for us all. And so, my best advice for everybody is if you're just enjoying the journey, you're on the path to it. Like you'll have cool synchronicities. You'll have people come into your life that right now you don't know exist, that will help you, that have a similar vision or want to help you and want to be a part of yours. We're all co-creators in this movie called life. And so I always want to take the chance to remind people of that, because this is not just something that applies to me or applies to July. Like, this applies to all of us. As soon as we have a vision for something or anything that we're excited about, it's already, the process of physical manifestation has already begun. And the only thing that we need to do to see it fully manifest, whether it's a relationship, a financial goal, a health goal, the only thing that any of us need to do to see something that right now doesn't exist in the physical, to make it physical, is to just go on the path, go on the journey, put our attention on it. Where we place our attention is where we put our energy. And you put energy on anything long enough, it will manifest. And so, I knew you'd be back, July. I just went on a nice sharing, and you came back perfect timing. I just shared something that would be so valuable for the audience.
That's awesome. I can't wait to hear it. Next time we talk, I definitely will make sure I'm on my PC.
You're good. You're good. I always say the universe wants all this out, this information and these positive vibes out into the world. And so technical difficulties never shut us down completely. We'll make it do what it do.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. So where can everybody find you? You're just July Dreaming everywhere, or how can everybody? Yeah,
I'm on IG. I am July Dreaming. Facebook, July Dreaming. Twitter, I don't really get into Twitter too much, but I'm on there. Snapchat.
TikTok, you're what? July Dreaming?
Boise, everything, July Dreaming.
Nice. And then if someone goes to like Spotify or iTunes, they could just search July Dreaming, and that's all we need.
Right, and I have 2 new singles out, Waves, which I did a visual for that. I have another single called Up, and we're probably looking at doing a visual for that because it looks like those streams are going up as well. I actually just hit 12,000 streams on Waves, so I'm very excited about that as an independent artist.
That's awesome. Congrats. You're about to have 12,001 because I'm about to stream it right when we get off and see if I can get the technology to the story, because I'm going to shout you out of my story. See if I can get it to play at the same time. I'll figure it out.
That'll be awesome.
Me and my beat speaker will figure it out.
And definitely don't forget to go look up Eric Bellinger. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
As soon as you said that, I always have asked the universe to bring more people that just connect with me, that I can connect with their vibe when it comes to singers, because my playlist is very important to me. I always when I can grow it, I don't grow it that often, but when I can add a song to it, it makes me very happy. So
real R&B.
I've always been it's always been my vibe. Always been a fan. So music is just when the artist is passionate about it, I can connect with it, and then you put some good music behind it and some good vocals. You have me. That's all I need. So I appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, this has been fun. Definitely, first collaboration, won't be the last, and just rooting for you, and excited for everybody now to discover you, and for everything that you're going to create from here. And we're all rooting for you, and I'm rooting for all you guys out there as well. Whatever it is that you have on your heart that is a passion for yours that's inside of you right now, be confident to just start on the journey. You don't have to know all the answers of how it's all going to be, but just take the first step and start flowing out whatever that is, and it feels so good. And more of the answers will come along the way. None of us need to know the entire answer, the entire plot to the movie today. You're on the scene that you're in right now, and just enjoy that scene. And then when you get to the next scene, enjoy that one. So I love it.
Absolutely. I agree with everything that you just said.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with us. And I'm definitely looking forward to connecting with you more. And everybody out there, share this episode. It'll be valuable to people. It'll inspire them and encourage them to follow their dreams as well. Can you say the DREAM acronym again? I think that's a good way to close this. I love that.
Yes. Okay. So DREAM for me means that you have a daily responsibility to empower and make moves. So just keep that in the back of your mind at all times, and you'll be all right.
I love it. Anytime that we're empowering someone else or allowing ourselves to be empowered, like that's just a great vibe to live in for sure. So, and it can and both ways is good. Like if you find yourself listening to the podcast right now and you're like, this is empowering, awesome, because now you get to go make moves in your life and empower someone else with that energy. So I love empowerment. The word is because it works both ways. It's always coming in and going out. So that's awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon, July. And you guys out there, appreciate you all, whether you're watching this now live or 40 years, 50 years from now, sending you guys all love and rooting for you all, and we'll talk to you guys soon on another episode.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was fun. Hold on, I'm going to stop the stream, and I'll say bye to you. All right. Streaming is